welcome back to the channel. Our smiles are kind of fake.
Yeah, today's not a very good day, y'all.
Yeah, no. So by the time you see this video, this info is probably going to be outdated. Because you can't talk about an ongoing investigation on the internet without, like, possibly compromising the investigation, right? So, do you want to say it, Wiley, or you want me to say it?
I guess I'll say it. So, as you guys know, we've been using our friend Greg's shop to work on, you know, multiple different projects.
Yeah.
And we come down last night. So, of course, like she said, this is going to be pretty outdated, but by the time we're able to publish it. But we come down last night. It's, you know, 108, or feels like 115 degree temperature during the day right now. So we waited till night, you know, to come down and work on. Actually, David over at Come On, we come down here to work on his truck, and so we pull up to the shop. I don't even pay any attention at all.
It's dark. It's like 8:30 at night, so it's getting dark. It's almost totally dark outside.
I get out of the car, and I've got a special place that I keep a key down there. So I just get out of the car and I start walking over to get the key, and I'm kind of fiddling around to get the key, and Jen hollers and is like, "Hey, you don't need a key."
Yeah, you're not gonna need that key, Wiley.
You'll see pictures of that in a minute, or video, or whatever.
Or here somewhere. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna end up putting this together, but it's bad. It's bad.
It's really bad, y'all. I would say, you know, just a quick guesstimate between $30,000 and $40,000 worth of stuff gone out of his shop.
Maybe even more. That's just a general estimate.
Yeah, I wouldn't even, I don't even know.
So they it had a steel exterior door, like a shop door. You can tell they worked hard to get in it. And they had to, like, basically break the deadbolt into pieces in order to get in. And they broke some stuff inside. They, like, wiped out most of his tools. Thank goodness David's truck was still in there and kind of blocking the door, so they could have opened the garage door, but they couldn't get a lot of the bigger stuff out without having to move things out of the way and all sorts of stuff. So it's kind of a blessing that we've been taking our time on David's truck, because it was in the way and it kept them from just totally cleaning him out.
Had it not been in the shop, guys, they could have backed inside the shop and closed the door and, like, literally cleaned that shop completely out. But, you know, thank goodness David's truck is unharmed. As far as we can tell. As far as we can tell.
We were told not to touch anything.
Yeah. So, as of right now, you know, the shop is kind of a crime scene under investigation. So we can't do anything in there right now.
Yeah.
So
they even went through his packages and stole his mail, y'all.
Stole his mail. Yeah. Stole, because as he's not in town, he does have a neighbor that stops by and picks his mail up and, you know, puts it in the shop. And all that's even gone.
Or have been gone through.
Yeah.
So
all of his boxes, like anything he had delivered, he ordered some lawnmower blades. He ordered a welder off the internet, one of the small Arc Captain welders, and, you know, stuff like that is gone. They took the whole box and all. They just picked it up and carried it out. Anything they could pick up and carry out, they pretty much took. I mean, lots and lots of tools, like sockets, ratchets, wrenches.
His big old snap-on, like, code reader.
Yeah.
Those things.
Chainsaws. I don't even know. I mean, there's so much stuff missing that I just don't even know where to start.
I don't either.
So we're actually headed back today. To where we've got to go in, take inventory. They give us some gloves to wear just in case. Take inventory, try to get as much as we can written down for them, take it to the police station. So we'll probably be on the phone with Greg half the day. We'll be installing cameras, which, you know, after the fact, guys, I mean, you know, you just don't think about that kind of stuff till something like this happens to you.
So
get cameras up, y'all. Get cameras up.
And I'm going to do a shameless plug because we've got these Tapo cameras that we did a video on before we went to go see Michael. And man, those suckers are awesome. So we're going to take one of those. The thing I love about it most is that it's got the standstill camera, and then it's got one that moves. It'll lock on to something and it'll follow it. So it'll track them back and forth. And it's very, very clear. Even at night, the camera's very clear. You can read a license plate even at night. So, of course, too late to recover any of his stuff now. You know, and the officers that came out last night, the sheriff's deputies that came out last night were really great. They were very much like, you guys don't touch anything. They're going to come out and investigate tomorrow. Yeah, anyway, so they, Greg has several outbuildings. He's got several outbuildings, and they broke into his outbuildings. They stole all of his fishing equipment, all of his power tools. It's just no bueno, y'all. No bueno. At all.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. We just pulled in, and we're gonna get out and start taking inventory. We've got to buy a new door, put it on his shop.
And of course, like, the nearest place that has a door is over an hour away.
Yeah.
That even carries them. And doesn't have to order it.
Yeah. Nobody around here has these kind of doors in stock. They have the home exterior doors, but of course a home exterior door is not anywhere as close to as strong as a shop exterior door. They're built different. So yeah, we just pulled up. We're gonna have to get out here and start going through all this stuff. Like I said, we'll be on phone with Greg quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I don't even know where to go from here.
And it's my turn. I signed up to cook dinner at church tonight, and so we have to get it done because we've only got a certain amount of hours before I have to be back to cook dinner. So I don't want everybody to starve.
Yeah.
Everybody comes on Wednesdays expecting to have dinner cooked and made for them, and I'm not gonna let them down. So yeah.
So we will we'll take a quick trip around and kind of let y'all see what's happened here, and we'll go from there and try to get inventory done as much as we can. Like I said, there was so much stuff in there that I don't even know that we could really even put a dent in it as far as the inventory stuff goes.
Yeah, and we've never, I mean, it's like we've come down here and used his tools, but we've never gone through stuff.
Yeah, I don't just pilfer, you know.
And we don't there's lots of stuff in boxes that we had no business being in, so we don't even know what was inside boxes that are missing.
Yeah.
All we know is that it sucks, and there ain't nothing worse. Well, you know, and I'm just gonna say it because I'm just gonna say it, but two worst kind of people are thieves and pedophiles.
Right.
And absolute worst kind of people, thieves and pedophiles. Like, you spend your whole life working for stuff. You go out, you get a job, you work hard to have things that you need or buy tools or, you know, whatever, and then some lowlife just comes along and just takes it.
Well, and the thing about it is, you know, is what most people don't realize. This, you know, what Greg had in this shop is a lifetime collection. You know, I mean, it takes years to build up this kind of, you know, this kind of an inventory of tools and, you know, all that stuff. Years. I know. I've been through it. I mean, I know.
Yeah. And it's not like it's just, I mean, it is stuff. It is stuff that ultimately could be replaced. It's not like it's somebody's life, but it still hurts. You know, you literally work your entire life to have things and you take care of your stuff, and then to just have someone come in and just steal it from you. It's just because they don't want to have to work for it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And to take something that's not yours, there's not a whole lot that's worse than that, other than pedophiles.
Yeah.
If I say that word too many more times, I'll probably get this video demonetized. So. You're not allowed to be able to talk about those kind of people on YouTube. Got to take that kind of stuff to Rumble. If y'all haven't found us on Rumble yet, go find us on Rumble.
Yeah, go check us out on Rumble.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we'll take you guys around and kind of show you
the aftermath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, we probably ought to get that started.
Yeah, time's a ticking.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So as we get out of the car, I don't know. I'm seeing car tracks over here that I didn't even see last night because, like I said, it was dark last night, so we really couldn't see what was going on. But yeah, the lock out of the door. I mean, that looks like maybe a part of it there. Yep, there's part of it. There's another part laying over here. I forgot to put my gloves on. I don't have any in my pocket. Well, I don't have my gloves. I'm going to have to get them in a minute. But, you know, this is what they done to get in.
you can tell they worked pretty hard to get there.
That took a lot of work. That took a lot of work to get that done. Now, we'll go out here in the field. And these are the outbuildings. Guys, I've never even seen the doors open on these outbuildings out here. And last night, I wasn't even thinking about it. And one of the officers kind of shined his light out there and said, well, what about them outbuildings? And I immediately noticed the doors was open on these outbuildings. So we come back here. And
do we still see tire tracks back here?
Found this mess. Do what?
Do we still see tire tracks coming back here?
There ain't. They couldn't have drove back here. This is where we walked through last night.
I'm not exactly dressed to be going off into the tall grass.
So this is what we come up to last night. We've got this stuff out here. We got this stuff all over here. Now the funny thing is, he's got a bench sitting here. All of this stuff was actually in another outbuilding over by the house. And it's out close to the road. So obviously they carried that stuff over here, sat down on his bench and went through it all. So there's, you know, stuff scattered everywhere over here. I can't even tell. I almost thought I seen a trail back here where they'd been driving a vehicle or something, but no. Oh yeah, there's wire stretched across there, so they wouldn't have come through there.
Yeah, they couldn't have drove through there at least.
See, I didn't even look in this building last night. The cops did, but I didn't look in it. But they
broke that door.
It's completely empty. Yeah, they broke that door. And these was all locked. These, you can see where they used it. Well, I'll show you. Well, if we get over there, I'll show you in a minute what they used. But they pried all these apart, broke all this stuff. Get back over here. Although, you know, they did leave some things inside these buildings. I don't want to go in these and video right now. But same thing here. You see where they just pried the lock completely off, or the hasp, and got in here. This had a lot of stuff in it. They went through.
They used his own cart to haul stuff off.
Matter of fact, they used one of his big green carts, and it's gone. So they took it. They used it to carry the stuff, and then they took it.
Which he's really upset about, because that was his grandpa's.
Yeah.
Not just
I think he said this was his grandpa's.
Was it?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't remember.
Know. But yeah, so we're going to have to clean up this fishing equipment out here and get it put back up.
I see a trail through there where I don't know if that was the cops last night or not. There's the cart. You can see where the cart was rolling through there.
Ha! So they probably pulled it back there. No, because we saw tracks up here too.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah,
but
you
can
can
definitely
see where
the cart right there where they was dragging stuff with a cart.
Hey, I wonder if they stashed anything in that camper, hoping to come back for it later.
I don't know.
We looked to make sure that it wasn't like.
But you can see they've been over here messing around a lot.
Yeah.
This is all mashed down.
They're probably bringing stuff over here to
walking through here
to go through things. My phone's getting hot.
You know what? Honestly, I mean, actually, there was TVs. There was quite a bit of stuff in here. I don't know if Greg's been in here, but there's a lot of stuff going out of this. There was quite a bit of stuff still in this trailer. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff still in that trailer.
Can we see were they taking it back that way or coming back through here?
No, they was going that way with it. I mean, you can see where they walked around right here, but there ain't none of that mashed down, so they wasn't out there. Generators there.
Hey, there's his cart.
Is it really?
It's out here behind his
sure
truck.
enough.
They definitely been over
Look here, they've been through all this. Look.
Oh my gosh.
They dumped all kinds of stuff out back here. Huh. Yeah.
Was that all tore up like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's even the point?
They thought they had something and then opened it up before they got it to the vehicle, because I bet they parked back here and loaded all that stuff.
Yeah.
Be my guess.
Well, we saw tire tracks up front. I don't know. Do you see?
I don't see any back here. But there's his green cart.
We should drag that back inside. No, wait. We're not supposed to touch nothing.
Right there.
Oh. Huh. Can y'all see the tire tracks going through here? It goes that way. I wonder where it went to.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless they went, because I'm pretty sure there's another entrance into the property back there in that back corner. I'm not 100% sure, but
huh.
Yeah, now I can see the right here too. Kind of surprised actually there ain't tracks on this, but I guess it was too dry.
They had definitely scoped this place out before they robbed it. Greg has cameras and they knew exactly where to avoid them. That's like four-wheeler tracks or something.
I bet that's the neighbor on his side-by-side or something. But yeah, that's definitely side or four-wheeler tracks going off back down beside the house.
Because that's probably not the lawnmower. No. Because that's coming from the driveway. I mean, it's been a couple weeks since we were down here mowing.
All right, I gotta go get my gloves.
Okay. So they had broke some of these.
Yeah, had some bulbs over here. I'm sure they was going through this stuff and, you know, it fell. They had, so he's got multiple of these bars over here, and they used one of them to pry all the locks off all them other sheds. It's still laying out there where they was using it. Of course, like we said, luckily David's truck's sitting here. They couldn't get the lawnmower out. And then the big toolboxes over there, they couldn't get them out.
All right, so we did what we could do.
Which unfortunately ain't a whole lot, y'all.
Yeah. The shop is a little too far away to connect any of our Wi-Fi cameras, so we put up an unknown amount, we'll just say that. And cross our fingers that we catch them if they come back. We tried to set up some more, but the Wi-Fi just won't reach out there. And in the shop, even our 5G camera doesn't get service inside the shop, so we'll have to figure out something else on that front. But we are going to have to come back. We're going to have to go by door, but we're going to have to go
all the way to Fort Smith to buy a door.
Yeah,
so,
and we need to call to make sure that they're in stock before we even go that far.
Yeah.
Because nothing around here has them in stock. They can be ordered, but it'll be a week or two before it gets here. And, so yeah. It is hot. We're cranky and miserable.
I'm not feeling good at all, y'all. It's just way too hot to try to mess around down here. I don't even know. Curious.
I can't check. Here, let me check. Yeah. You're driving. I'm going to see how hot it is, because it feels like it is super, super hot.
Anyway, I know it was hot enough that I wasn't feeling good whenever we left. So, yeah.
It feels like 105 right now. It's 101, feels like 105, but
that's not as bad as it was yesterday.
No, not as bad as it was yesterday, but still, standing out in the sun, being out in the sun, I feel like makes a big difference. I don't know if that real field temperature is taken with somebody standing in the sun or in the shade or what.
Yeah.
But it's so hot. We've drank so much, but I mean, even drinking a bunch, you just get depleted, and it's so hot. So.
And on top of that, we didn't eat anything this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm really feeling bad because of that. And I mean, a little bit of everything. Anyway, whatever. It don't matter. It's, guys, I'm going to tell you, it's not even my stuff. And I'm totally devastated over what's happened down here.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what Greg feels. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that when we rented our house in Oklahoma, when we moved, we had left a lot of stuff there because, well, we were moving 3 hours away.
And it was somebody we were supposed to be able to trust.
Yeah, it was like, hey, let's rent out the house to somebody that we know so we can, like, count on our stuff being safe. That was a bad judgment call.
Yeah.
I remember Wiley was like, are you sure? And I was like, oh, she's a mom with kids, and you know, I want to believe that she's going to do the right thing and be a good person. I was very, very wrong. Just because somebody has good words and is nice to your face and has kids doesn't mean that they won't rob you blind the first chance that they get, because Everything that we had worth value that was not locked in our shipping container got hauled off. All of it.
Yep.
Anything worth any kind of value at all got hauled off. And it was replaced by literal household garbage. I am embarrassed.
Mattresses and
Dirty
diapers and yeah, I mean, it is unreal
Household
what they done to that.
trash. It's disgusting. Like, we went there a couple weeks ago, picked up some more stuff, or I guess it was in July, or end of June, July, whatever, because we went and got the grandkids, and we did that while we were there. And it is so disgusting. I'm so embarrassed by it. You know, we might have a buyer lined up. We haven't heard from them in a while, so I don't know if that's still going through or not. But you can't always trust people you think you can trust. And, you know, we had cameras up, and they took the cameras down before they stole all of our stuff.
Yeah, they even removed all of them. So
yeah. And, of course, we never got the cameras back. Never got any of our stuff back. And they used our trailers to haul our stuff off.
Yeah. And then took our trailers.
And then took our trailers, too. Yeah. Because we had 3 or 4 trailers there that got hauled off that we've never seen again. They weren't nice, but they were trailers.
Yeah.
And they were functional enough at least to haul our own stuff off.
There was them little cheapy 4x8 trailers that you get from, like, Harbor Freight, you know.
To like, haul a lawnmower or something like that, or small stuff.
Yeah.
But still, like, and I know it's just stuff, but it's stuff we worked hard for. And this is stuff Greg worked hard for. So, this is not a paid promotion at all, y'all. But those Tapo cameras, I'll put a link in the description. This is not a paid promotion. They did not give us the cameras for the sake of this video, but for your own sake, put cameras up around your place.
And it don't even have to be this brand. We just know this brand to be decent cameras.
Right. And like I said, my favorite thing is that it'll lock on you and track you. So it's not like they can, you know, a lot of cameras that we've had don't even come on until you're already out of the frame.
Yeah.
And so...
yeah, we're not trying to sell this product in particular. We just know this product works. But just get cameras up, y'all. I mean, that's all there is to it.
They make Wi-Fi cameras. They make cellular cameras where you buy the little stick, the little card that you put in it. Highly encourage cloud storage because you can have an SD card in there. But if they take and that's what we learned in Oklahoma, is if they take your camera down, how are you going to get what's on your SD card? You can't. Yeah. So Wi-Fi is good. Cloud storage is good. Y'all, with the way that the world's going and everything's getting expensive, and it's hard to buy and own things. Protect what you have. Protect your investments. Get cameras.
Right.
At least then that way, when, you know, maybe you'll get a notification that says, and you can call the cops, you can call the law enforcement when they're in the act and they can get caught and they won't get away with all your stuff. Worst case scenario, at least maybe you can give them a license plate, a vehicle description, people description, maybe you could get a face on it or whatever. But yeah, this sucks. I am so brokenhearted for him because I know exactly how it feels.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, the stuff that happened to us in Oklahoma wasn't a lifetime of building. You know, I mean...
right.
That was just a few things that we had collected for the last few years. That this, with Greg, is an absolute lifetime of collecting tools and stuff like that.
A lifetime of working for these things and buying these things and investing in good quality stuff just to have it taken away by someone who never worked for it, by someone who is just a thief. And I'll say it again, 2 worst kinds of people, thieves and pedophiles. So, anyway, you got anything else to add, Wiley, before we...
I don't know. Hang on. trying to get into traffic here. Not really. I mean, I don't even, there ain't really a whole lot more to say about it.
I hope you'll take our advice, and invest in some decent security cameras to put around your house, because I don't want y'all to feel the way that Greg's feeling, or that we have felt in the past when people have wiped us out. And, you know, in our case, it was somebody who knew us, somebody that we thought we could trust. And
the thing about it is 9 times out of 10, that is who does this kind of stuff. Yeah, I couldn't imagine it happening in the scale that it's happened to Greg.
Right.
I can't. It makes me sick to think about it.
Yeah. Agreed. So, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right, Wiley?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of good people in the world, y'all, but there's also a lot of bad, ugly, low-down, dirty people in the world, too. And it's not good, so. You can't control what other people do, but you can choose to be a light. You can choose to be a positive influence on others. But do what you can to protect yourself. And on another note, if you buy stuff, I think there is a place online, there was a website that I was reading about, that you can store your receipts for high-ticket items and
record serial numbers, y'all. Yeah.
And keep your serial number somewhere safe. Keep multiple copies.
Even if you're buying something used, a used lawnmower, it's got a serial number on it. Get it wrote down somewhere. I mean, yeah. Of course, there's a lot more important stuff than that has serial numbers on it that needs written down. Keep track of that stuff.
If it has a serial number, write it down. Keep it in a safe. Have multiple copies. So have one in your safe. Have one in a friend's safe or a parent's safe or whatever. Because you never know. You never know. And that's the best way to recover stolen information, is being able to have that serial number.
Well, if they have a stolen serial number entered into the database, and somebody tries to go into a pawn shop and they record that serial number, it'll pop up through those databases. So, you find it. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
It's a way to alert. If it pops up somewhere, it's a way to alert that, it's a stolen item. Even if, let's just say they stole your lawnmower. And, I don't know if you guys have been through it lately or not, but most of the time, whenever I'm buying parts for some of our stuff, they require me to give them the serial number off the tractor. And you just call a parts store and it's like, hey, this is the serial number I got. It will go into that database and pop it up as, flag it as being stolen. So, there's multiple, a lot of people don't think of that, but just parts stores will pop it up as being stolen.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. So if it has a serial number, start recording things right now. Keep a running list of your valuable items that have serial numbers on it, and have multiple copies of serial numbers in case one goes missing. So if you had it in your safe and someone stole your safe, guess what? Now you've lost information for everything. So have multiple copies. Keep them in separate places. I don't know. This stuff happens every day to someone somewhere. And it's so disheartening. I just have to rely on the fact that God's the ultimate judge, and he knows exactly who did it.
Right.
Because he has recorded it in their book of life. And they will have to pay for their deeds someday. Just like everybody does, Anyway, so you got anything else? No? All right, well, we're on our way home. We have to go home, get the stuff for dinner at church, and then go home and finish cooking dinner for church. And then eat it. We love you guys. What do you say, Wiley?
As always, y'all, work hard, stay humble, and love God.
Amen. Bye, y'all.